Hey, how's it going, YouTube? The channel is Good Form Sports Cards. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Ian. Been collecting sports cards for over 35 years and grading them since 2004. Today I've got for you here a quick mail day, just some things I've been picking up recently, and we'll just jump into them. Some of them are PC items, some of them are going to be either raw resells or cards I'm looking to go raw to grade on. First one here is a standard envelope. Oh, I forgot what these even were. Looks like they just put some filler in here, I guess. Or maybe they go with the stickers. Oh, they do. Okay. So this were some of those Panini Olympic stickers. Suni Lee is the one I was looking to pick up, but there are some other ones in here as well. We've got the foil version here. There's a foil Suni Lee sometimes that you can get as well. And like we got a Dame Lillard, but ultimately I'm trying to pick these up. These stickers I would grade with CGC, and I was trying to get a pair of 10s, one with the yellow, like that one there, and then the foil, which is green. I was looking to get a pair of 10s. I have a 1 in 10 and one, and I think in a 9.5. And the ones that didn't gem, I mean, I had some that graded like a 6, and they really sold really well. So admittedly, that wasn't too long after the Olympics, so I'm not sure how well Sunisa's cards are going to continue to sell, but I know she was just in the Victoria's Secret show as one of the athletes with Angel Reese. So she's still getting some notoriety, still sitting out in the public eye a little bit. So here, oh, okay. I don't know what this is here. Forgot about this one. Give a little plug here. It looks like SJ Collectibles. Very welcome. We're happy to purchase it. This card was up for auction, and I don't really look for them. They kind of, when they show, I'll take a look at them. This one was a little OC left to right, but I think it was like 99 cents. It's the Topps Heritage Chrome Refractor Rookie of Brickshaw Ferguson, and I thought these were serial numbered. Yeah, it's serial numbered to 552. So real cheap pickup here. We'll see how clean it is, and that'll be going in the PC. Pretty low end card, but I like picking up my Jets, as some of you know. And he was an all-timer. He's maybe not a Hall of Fame lineman, but he was very good, very consistent. I believe he only missed like one game in his career, something like that. So maybe it was not even a game. It might have been like one snap. There's some crazy stat about him. I'll put it up here on the cam, but yeah, he was like super durable for a tackle. Very reliable. Speaking of the Jets O-line love, this gentleman is on his third team and sadly having a pretty miserable year. His PFF rank, I think he was in the bottom 3 for his position, so hopefully he turns the season around. But this here is a Mekhi Becton, and this was the green die cut number to 5. So obviously cards number to 5 don't come up very often. I may never see this one again. I never have seen it, and it actually looked pretty centered for a die cut. This one might have a real shot at a 9.5 or a 10, which I already have a good portion of the Select Rainbow for Mekhi Becton graded in CGC holders, and I'm trying to get that one in as high grade as possible. Since a lot of these cards are like so high print run, I can keep just trying over and over and over until I get my 10s that I want. But ones like this, I don't have the luxury. You kind of got to take what you get. So I'm happy that this one looks to be in good shape. I think this one, as long as there's no like dings along some of these sharper corners, might be able to get a gem on that one. I'll have to take a closer look, but excited about that one. This one I know what it is because of the price, and I've been looking for this card for many years. It's not particularly rare, but it is just, it's a very popular card, so it's hard to get, if you're trying to get it at a good price. Sometimes you just got to pony up and pay it. This one, just because it is not really that uncommon, I just have been very patient, and then I finally got a price that I felt was really good, so I made a move on it. And this is from the 91 Skybox set. This is the like non-numbered Team USA card with the gold foil. This card's pretty tough to gem in general. In a PSA 10, it's pretty consistently around $500. It's tougher to get for less than that. You can do it, but it just doesn't happen very much. And they're relatively low pop for like how heavily printed this year's Skybox was. This was a BGS 9.5 with 395, so not necessarily a min gem and not a true gem. It's somewhere in between, but I have a really good luck with crossing these over to CGC 10s, which is what I'm going to try to do. I have the rest of this skybox set in a CGC 10 that is. So this would be a complete, holder label match with that set. I'm really hoping this will cross over. I'd be stoked either way if they examine it in the holder and it won't cross over. Not really worried about getting most of my money, if not all of it back. This I bought for I think 250 bucks. It's about half price of the PSA 10. So happy to pick that one up. That one will definitely be a PC card. Here I have my usual stuff, the COMC, but it's just one small box. There's not a lot in here. I'm going to rip that open and remove the labels real quick here, and then we will get to these cards. Okay, back here with just a few cards from COMC. I'm going to jump right into it. I'll put the prices up here alongside so you know what I was paying for them. The price that is up here is going to be my total cost door to door. So it's going to be the purchase price of the cards plus whatever the combined shipping was to get it to me. That being said, let's check it out. So first we've got here 52 Topps. I love picking up these 52 Topps cards that aren't just mangled. COMC will quite a bit of users that just auction these off and you get what you get. Sometimes you can get them for $5 or so. I usually try to get them for like $7, $8. This one looks really nice and clean, like you don't really have any staining or paper loss on the back. And of course these aren't going to be high grade. I mean, they're going to be like PSA 3s or less, and that's fine. I'm looking to pick these up and I've just been stowing them away, waiting for the day when the Collectors Club has another promotion for vintage cards, and I'm just going to put them all in there, slowly but surely trying to piece together this set. It's going to be tough. Even the high numbers are pretty expensive in commons, but it's fun to do. It's not a huge set. And inaugural Topps set, I think it's always going to have value. Of course, the mantle's always going to pull that. So when the day comes when I can hopefully throw, in my case, likely a PSA 1 mantle in there. But when that day comes, that is going to be pretty fun. Try to see if I can't piece together that set in a low grade. Even if they're all authentic and PSA 1s, you still have it authenticated set. I think that's going to always hold some value. So just a lot of cheap commons here, but fun nonetheless for me. I just like playing with them. Pretty cool. Those cards at this point in time are like 75 years old. That's like, it's really cool to me. Like older than my parents, and feel like I'm old, so that's pretty cool. Here we've got a 96 Topps Chrome, I believe it was, Eric Montross. These were the early, if not first year refractors, and they sell really well just because they're early refractors, and there's a lot of set collectors for this. You've got the Kobe in there, you've got a lot of big rookies in that set. This one looked centered and really clean. There wasn't a lot of greening that I could see on the listing, and I don't really see any here now. So I believe this card, I mean, even looking at it just the way it is, unless the surface is just mangled, is probably a 9, maybe a 10. I think this card would just be an instant grade it and get it to a set collector, probably make a little on it. Not a lot. Eric Montross is certainly not a star, but if that card came back in a 10, there would definitely be somebody that wants that for sure. Here we've got a Roy Halladay Bowman Chrome. I think this was his rookie. And it's not a particularly like overly expensive card, but it's more than you'd think it would be. Doc Holliday, very good pitcher in his day. His stuff still sells pretty well. It's not real high pop on his high grade rookies, so I'm gonna check this one out. This one looked pretty centered, and it still does. Left to right, it's not ideal. It's a little thicker on this side, but otherwise it looked good. This is a pretty tough set to gem, at least in my experience, but we'll check him out and see how it goes. And last but not least, probably the bigger pickup, at least for cards that I'll be selling, is Tom Brady Select Silver. And this one is just slightly off center left to right. You can kind of tell by looking at these points here. It's a little thicker on this side than that side, but it's not bad. Other than that, it looked really nice. Down here, the centering it's not as apparent, but you can see it is a little bit off. If maybe anything, it might have just a little tilt. But the back looked pretty centered, which I've noticed, at least in my experience. I feel like PSA kind of started 2025 by, I don't know if you call it changing their standards or just enforcing them harder on the centering. And now I feel like they're starting to hammer the back a little more too. It seems like it's kind of been done in stages. And if you have a card that's pretty good on front and not very good on back, you're probably getting a 9 or worse. So this card at least looked good on both. I'm always skeptical when I see a card like this at a consignor. I just feel like somebody's probably already tried to do what I'm going to do in grading it and then realizing that it's not gradable and just offloading it. So hopefully that's not the case here. I'm going to check these out off camera, and then I'll get back to you and let you know how these three stand up if I'll be sending them in. So just 1 second. Okay, and I've had a chance to look at these. Doc Holliday here, I think, is probably a 9, mostly because of the left-right centering. But there, if I could get it to show here on camera, you could kind of see it in the sleeve here. There's a little nick right here by my thumb, all right? Just right, kind of if you follow the chrome label out to the edge and then slightly down from there, there is a little surface. It's like a little nick on the edge there. It's not bad. And if you look at the card from the other side, you can't see it. So it's like almost like something just kind of pinched the front edge there or something. Sometimes you could just leave that in the sun and those types of things just kind of come back on these chrome cards. That's what I'm going to do here. It's not a really bad edge nick. You can't really see any white or anything like that, but it's just, you can see it. So when somebody was going to turn this in the light or refract any sort of shine on it, you're going to see it. And I think that alone is probably going to push it to a 9, no higher than that. Probably still worth sending in, so definitely would grade that. Montross here was really, really clean. There's, I don't know how to really explain this unless you just kind of know the old refractors. With these old refractors, they get this kind of weird, like the surface is not smooth. It almost seems like it's porous, but it's like this, I call it refractor gunk. It's just this kind of like film that gets on there and hardens, and like you can work it off of there. You kind of got to just use hot breath and be consistent with the microfiber, and just it almost kind of rolls off, or you just got to kind of buff it off. I'm sure there's product out there that people use. They're probably like, oh yeah, I use this polish or whatever. I don't really do that kind of stuff. Just get kind of worried about, yeah, we're just not gonna go there. But the only imperfection I could find on the front is I can't tell if it's gonna come off with a gunk or not, but there's like a little tiny, almost looks like a scratch over here, but I looked at it in the light. It didn't reflect like a scratch usually does. So I think it might just be like a void in this gunk, or maybe something scratched through the gunk part of it, but not the card surface itself. But otherwise, this looked really, really nice. Super centered. The only thing I could find that was kind of weird is on the back, it looked like a dimple, but it's not. It's almost like there's a dried piece of food or something on the back. There's like, just like a, if you rub your thumb over it, you can feel it. And I didn't want to scratch at it and, you know, get like a nail mark or anything in here, so I just kind of left it. On these chrome cards like that, if you get something that's stuck on there, sometimes just like a Q-tip in like distilled water, you just kind of get it wet so it softens it, and then you can just buff it off there. That's what I'm going to do here. Try to get whatever that, I don't know, someone was eating some cereal doing the Daffy Duck on that thing or what, but it was, there's a little something back there. But other than that, I think this card has a real shot at a 10. It's a super strong 9 for sure, so I'll be sending this one in. I don't see how it gets lower than that. And Tom here, admittedly, I was scared of this a minute ago. This card is really, really nice. No scratches or dimples or anything. No weird impressions. I checked the front and back like rigorously. I'm like, what am I missing here? The only thing is like down here where this surface is a little flatter, don't have like the design in there. There is like, sometimes on these chromium cards, you'll have like the other card kind of just, it rubs or touches, or when people are looking through packs, you'll see like it's the card to card, like really light surface stuff. Sometimes that stuff comes off of the microfiber, sometimes not. It's just like you kind of buff it and it makes it a little better, but it doesn't completely resolve it. So there might be just a little bit of it's not a nick, but it's just, you know, the surface isn't perfect. Another one that I believe is a very strong 9, shot at a 10. It just depends on how somebody views that. But even this card in a 9 should be profitable. So I will be sending all 3 of the cards that I was hoping to go raw to grade. I will be sending those in, and they should all be profitable. So on a future grading reveal, look for those cards from this mail day to be in there, and hopefully we can see, and that'll show you a little bit about how I get it from raw to grade and really what the whole process is and how long it takes. But that is the mail day. I'm really pleased with the pickups, especially even these PC items at Becton. Obviously super rare. Getting this card at a great deal. Next time I do a CGC video, I will put this in as a crossover order, so we'll show it in there, and hopefully this one will cross to a 10, and then I will add this to my Team USA Skybox set. But that is the mail day for today. Nice and short. Appreciate you tuning in as always. If you could, give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, all that good stuff. Pump up the video, get it in front of other people that might enjoy it. Not much more to add this week, so until next time, we'll see ya.